In this video, we navigate the icy roads heading to Nordkapp, which is the furthest you can drive in Europe.
We must have slid for a good 20 metres.
We get caught out in whiteout blizzards with friends and watch the landscape completely change.
We then sail across to Seiland, which is where we are now, and weather yet another snowstorm. Time to get in the van.
But before that, let's head back to Finland and see where it all began.
Let's go. Thank fuck for that. Woke up in a ski village near Levi in Finland. We just need to get some water, which is proving to be a little difficult at this time of year. But we found a campsite on Park for Night, which we're just arriving to now, and hopefully we can get some water. Got the key, so we just need to reverse down there. Right, well that was pretty much pain-free. Some of the other places that we filled up in the Nordics have been pretty gross. Their hoses haven't looked ideal to use, so we've had to use our own, which, as you can imagine, have been frozen in the back box. But those are pretty nice, so all done. Now off to meet Alex and Joe. The plan is now heading to Nordkapp, up in the very tip of Norway, which we're excited for. I couldn't help myself. Conditions have gone really mild now. It's actually 4.5 degrees, plus 4.5 degrees. So the van is completely thawed out. All the snow and ice has melted off. All I hope now is it doesn't refreeze and the conditions of the roads get a bit hectic. But we shall bring you along and see what Nordkapp looks like.
It's 4 degrees. Welcome to the Arctic.
Squeaky bum time there. We'd hit our first patch of ice on the road and literally the whole van just floats. Luckily it was just a short piece, so we kind of gained control pretty quickly. But yeah, just a clear wake-up call just to keep your wits about you around here now, because it's 5 degrees today. So I assumed that because it was 5 degrees that we should be okay with ice until it refreezes, but I don't know whether it's the coolness under the top layer that's managing to sort of freeze up. Whatever it is, we need to drive slower now, so. So we just hit another huge patch of ice. Now we're driving in the dark and we've got all the lights on. I could see the difference in the road. It was just literally looked like glass ahead, so I had a bit of a warning that I could slow down, and yeah, we must have slid for a good 20 metres, and you can just see how if someone overreacts in that situation, how the vehicle could just twist and completely lose control. So here we go, absolute ice rink, sliding everywhere. This whole stretch is literally one piece of ice. This isn't as bad as back there. There's a few non-icy patches, but the majority of it is just ice. Luckily we saw it and we're just crawling now, but yeah, these are pretty gnarly conditions. We're in Norway, according to the van anyway. Surprise, surprise, we need fuel again.
So what a day and a drive that was. The ice was absolutely crazy. Just couldn't take your eye off the ball for a second. We've finally made it to a campsite where we've met another van, some friends, and tomorrow we head to Nordkapp, hoping the conditions are all good and the road's open. Just opted for a nice simple dinner as it's so late. What's on the menu?
Can't beat a fish and finger or a fish finger sandwich. Whilst I pick on all the pickled onions in the meantime.
What did you make of the drive up here?
Taxing. I think, to be fair, I think you obviously did all the hard work, but I think it was pretty ropey. Put it this way, I couldn't sit back and watch like my shows and watch a bit of Instagram or anything like that. I thought I'd better keep Fraser company, make sure he had his eye on the ball.
Right, well let's see what tomorrow brings then. Buddy, and what did you make of today's drive?
It's looking good, roads have melted, so it should be a clear shot and the gates are open.
Are you enjoying the new spikes, the new studs you've got?
Yes, they are, for yesterday, significantly. It made my day a lot nicer, that's for sure.
You just had to watch me squirm about.
Yeah, that's why we let you in front. So every time you put the brakes on, I could set the camera to record.
Yeah. Like I just fell over then.
Yes, we'll see if we can pull that footage.
Right, let's go then. So obviously we arrived in the pitch black, couldn't see where we were really, and I mean, look at it, it's just incredible. This is going to make up for the hectic icy roads last night. The roads are currently looking nice and dry, or at least not icy. I think the gritters have been out, but just the scenery here is just unbelievable. Not sure how long the sun's going to be up for, but we'll enjoy it while it is. Here it is, the very top of Europe. You can't drive any further than this. Nordkapp. No, it was Aura. Aurora. So we're just in the van eating dinner and Alex comes running in saying, oh, there's an Aurora upstairs? There's an Aurora upstairs. Look above the van and there's our first green Aurora. So we're just going to go out there and set the camera up and see what we can catch. So we're on our way back down from Nordkapp, where we stayed last night. A bit uneventful as far as what we could see, although we did see our first Aurora, which was pretty cool. I've not filmed anything like that before, so it was quite funny pointing the camera up, and it didn't look great at all. I then popped back out later on and down to the Globe Monument at Nordkapp, and there I was setting up the shot, and all of a sudden this silhouette appeared next to me, and I looked up and it was this guy, and he says, I was just about to climb up the globe, but now you're here, so I'm not sure now. And I was like, are you asking me for permission? So anyway, I said, crack on, whatever you want. But then I felt obliged that I best stay and just check he doesn't end up falling off. So we're currently in a YouTube sandwich. We have Alex Frood ahead of us and the Norwegian Explorer behind us. Alex was talking to him last night and we found out he's a fellow storm chaser or snow chaser. So we've adopted his plans, which is going to this location today where apparently there's a good dump of snow forecast, so fingers crossed for that. It's very surreal, the light here now, because it's only 1 PM, but it looks like the sun's setting. You can probably tell by my face, and I just thought it was about 6 o'clock.
Which is in two halves, with a joining bus bar in the middle, or joining plate.
So we've made it to our spot for the evening. We have all parked up facing the wind, so the Norwegian Explorer is apparently the expert around here, so his advice is that we basically point all in the direction of the oncoming wind and the extreme blizzard he reckons is going to come. Apple weather doesn't look too bad, but I'll take the locals' advice. Alex has already been put to work. Paul's got some electrical issues, so of course Alex has been sent in with the tools and the head torch, so I'm sure he'll get that fixed. So besides the electrical problems, Paul's got his fire pit all ready to go, so we're looking forward to sitting around that later, and it sounds like it's going to be a good night. Well, he weren't wrong.
This is the stuff.
So it's definitely coming down. Oh, take shelter. So Joel from Norwegian Explorer predicted this spot, and he's done well. It's literally thumping it down. It's coming sideways. It's, as he said, a blizzard.
So do you think it's going to get much worse?
Yeah, it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be exactly what you came here for.
It's getting windy. Taking shelter behind the vans. It's really coming down now. The blizzard is definitely hitting. Joel is just trying to land his drone.
Before it ends up in Sweden.
Yeah.
So this is what happens when you make friends with a local Norwegian. You follow his advice, you end up in the snowiest location in Norway. He also recommended point this way because the storm's going to hit you head on. Questioning where we've taken you tonight? And just like that, it's back to us. It was a bit of a wild night last night with the snowstorm, the blizzard, whatever you want to call it. Last night I couldn't help but laugh looking around and just seeing all the fully grown adults getting super excited about the snow blasting down. Me included, of course. We're just really enjoying having a slow day, getting some work done, having showers, and just having that cozy van winter snow vibe. Oh, the plough's back. Do you think he's doing a welfare check? So it's been a couple of days since we picked up the camera again, doing a lot of work, catching up with a few bits. Our first video went live, so if you haven't seen that yet, go check that out. We are coming back across where we had the blizzard the other day, and the snowstorm that we're heading for has just arrived, and the conditions are a bit hectic. It's literally like you can barely see in front of yourself, and I can barely see where the sides of the roads are, and it's quite interesting going past other vehicles, especially big lorries, because you just can't see anything for about 10 seconds afterwards. But have a look at what we can see. So we just made it to Forsøl, which is slightly further north than Hammerfest, but once we crossed that bridge earlier, the conditions completely changed. Another winter blizzard hit and the roads were like super icy, probably some of the worst we've had to drive on.
So the plan for tomorrow is we're going to get the ferry over to another island called Seiland, but there's another storm rolling in, so we're hoping that the ferries are running, but if they are, then it's going to be a fantastic place to enjoy the next storm.
Well, let's see what happens with the ferry, because I can hear the storm revving up again, but let's see what happens tomorrow. I have a feeling the ferry might not be running. It's wild out there.
Are the ferries running?
Apparently, she said 40 minutes past 2 and it's 10 past 1.
Bit of a wait then. Shame we had sausages already for lunch.
Yeah. Right, we've made it across to Seiland, but if you want to see what happens next, you'll have to watch the next video. And if you subscribe, you won't miss it.
And thank you so much for all of the feedback that we've had so far. It's all super interesting for us to read through and really valuable for us to hear what your thoughts are, seeing as we're just starting out.
See you in a bit.